Hey everybody. I want to do a quick behind the scenes on how myself inside of my seven-figure company, as well as with all of our clients, as well as with all of the 7 and 8 figure sales teams that we are currently training. I want to show you guys how we are generating consistent high ticket sales in this current market, which for a lot of people can feel extremely challenging and overwhelming, even for very successful coaches and companies. With all the things that have changed in the market, high ticket sales can feel extremely challenging. Sales in general can feel extremely challenging. So we work with coaches and consultants that are pretty active in their sales on social media online. And they are generating anything anywhere from like 5 figures up to 8 figures. 7 and 8 figure clients of ours pretty much have sales teams. And so we're working with the sales teams, but inside of Sales Academy, we are working directly with coaches and consultants who may or may not have someone on their team. And it's the same principle across the board. The online market has changed. The strategies that work today have shifted, even from just 6 months ago. Even just from 6 months ago. So things that were working a little bit 6 months ago, they're just not today. And so part of my expertise is brain science, sales psychology, high ticket selling. I've been a high ticket seller for 7 and 8 figure companies for 25 years. Some of the most named companies and coaches in this industry I have worked for and with. And I have also run 2 7-figure companies, a done for you agency for about 10 or 12 years. And now for the past almost 20 years, I have been running a sales training coaching company, both 7-figure companies. And the funny thing is when I started 25 years ago, the things that I do today, I was doing then. Same exact things. Obviously, they've shifted a little bit and we've made some tweaks, but I'm literally doing the same things that got me off welfare as a single mom and got me my first, 5K, 10K months, and now are generating 7 figures in my second company. These are the same exact things. These are timeless, basic sales fundamentals. I think what is really happening in the market right now is people are in freak out mode. And so they are dabbling, they are, chasing these trends. They're trying everything that they see everybody else doing. They're running themselves ragged, trying to figure out what is working right now. And I'm going to show you that today. I'm literally going to pull up my screen and show you. So if you have a few minutes, hunker down, grab something to drink, grab a notebook and something to write with, and sit here with me for a few minutes. I'll show you how to make millions of dollars online in the most ethical, timeless, scalable way possible that nobody else is doing or teaching today. And I think it'll be a breath of fresh air because you're going to end up seeing that I don't even talk about 90% of what most of you are doing. I'm not even gonna have you do what you're doing 90% of the time, right? So let's go ahead and dive in, okay? I'm gonna take you through a few things. I'm gonna walk you through what I'm gonna do so that you know what to expect, and then I'm gonna actually pull up my screen. I am gonna show you my buyers list database, and I'm gonna show you kind of how we're doing things, okay? So you're gonna get a ton of value here. In the end, I'm gonna share with you how we help our clients in Sales Academy do exactly what I show you here. So you'll have two options. You can watch this and go try this yourself and keep going at it. That's perfectly fine. If you feel confident that you know how to generate all the sales that you're trying to get, you can take what I walk you through here and you can try to go replicate this all by yourself on your own. Totally can do that. Or you can reach out and we can have a conversation to see if we could fast track your sales and your results and your learning curve inside Sales Academy, where we already have all this plugged in, set up, ready to go. All you got to do is plug and play, right? So that's going to be totally up to each of you, but I will share that at the end. Okay. Let's make sure we understand what's happening here because I think everybody needs to do kind of a self-check. Okay, I have all of my clients do this. You need to do a self-check. You need to learn where you're doing things well and where you are struggling. And you need to learn what is working and what is not. This is how you simplify. And this is how you dial your focus in on what's working and you stop doing what's not. We usually anywhere from about 20 to 25 hours a week off our clients' weekly to-dos, like their work week. We literally can take about almost 20 to 25 hours away immediately within 30 days of them joining us, because 90% of what most of you guys are doing, you just don't need to be doing. And it's not directly making you money. So you need to learn how to self-check yourself, okay? So this is where coaches are getting stuck right now, and I don't care what stage of business you're at. This applies to all of you. Number one is, where do we find active buyers? So this is an obvious thing. In order to make money in your business, you need buyers, right? We need leads, but you don't just need leads. This, again, this is the biggest shift, right? It's the type of people who are spending money right now online are different from who they were 6 months ago and 2 years ago. Back in 2020, everybody was spending free money, right? Everyone was getting government checks, everyone was locked down, everyone was in their homes. We were all bored and had nothing else to do, and everybody was online and everybody was spending money. And so back then, it was really a numbers game, right? Like if you got 300, 400 people to register for your launch, you would make, 5, 6 figures from that launch. If you had X amount of people in your Facebook group, you could make X dollars every day, every week from that group. It was all a numbers game. Today, that's not even the case anymore. That is just not what it is. Today, I have 7 and 8 figure coaches who have 200,000-300,000 people in a Facebook group and make nothing from that Facebook group. I have clients who have tens of thousands of people on an email list and they don't make money from their email list. So I don't care about vanity metrics. It's not impressive and it doesn't matter in this market. So a lot of people are still chasing vanity metrics. They're still chasing I gotta go viral, I need lots of leads. And it doesn't matter in this market. You need active buyers. The big thing that has shifted in this market right now is that the people who have money and are spending online are different than who those people were just a few months and a few years ago. So I'm gonna say this, I don't wanna age myself, but if you've followed me for a little while, you've heard me say this. You've heard my good friend Alex Hormozy say this. This isn't new news. This is not new news, but it is so important. The people that, you need to identify the champion client. We call ideal clients champion clients in Sales Academy. You need to identify who your buyers are, and you need to go you need to attract and put content and value and build relationships with people in your niche who have money to spend. One of the biggest things I see, probably with 100% of our clients, 100%, when they come into Sales Academy, the first thing that we see that they're doing is they're selling, promoting, talking to, and marketing and creating offers and creating solutions for broke people, for people who have no money. They are bottom feeders, struggling, they're broke, they have a horrible mindset, and they don't have the money to invest. And 100% of the people who come into our program, the first thing we do is we look at what are you selling and who are you selling it to? And there's the problem right there. You're selling cheap solutions to people who have cheap problems, who have no money. You're not getting blood from a turnip. That's where I might age myself a little bit, but it's true. You can take it or leave it, like it or lump it, right? At the end of the day, you can't get money from somebody who has no money. And so the first thing everyone needs to do is you need to reevaluate, what expensive problem am I solving and for whom am I solving it for? Because if you continue to create vanilla content with cheap solutions to people with cheap problems and who have no money, you're not going to make any money. So that is step number one. You need to learn and identify. So it's 2 parts. One, you need to identify who is, right? So we'll put here, right? The first thing that you need to do, right, is we need to identify who is a high ticket buyer with money, and then what do they what expensive problem do they want solved? Right? Those are the first two things. So you're identifying who the person is, and then what's the thing? What's the expensive problem that they want solved? If you don't have these two, I mean, and these are bare minimum, guys. Like if you don't have these two things dialed in, I can tell you right now, just fixing this alone is going to increase your sales because you're going to start speaking to people who have expensive problems and they want those problems solved. But guess what? They also have the money to pay for those solutions. There's a lot of broke people with expensive problems, but they don't have the money. So it doesn't matter what you're solving for them. It can be a genuine, real big, expensive problem, but if they have no money, they have no money. So these two things at minimum need to happen, right? I mean, really, where are they? That's the next thing. Like, where are those people hanging out? Does this part make sense to everybody? This is one of the biggest issues that we're seeing in the marketplace right now. People do not know who the person is in their niche who has, money. They don't know what that expensive problem is that people with money want, because people who have money have different problems than people who are broke. Okay, they don't have the same problems, they don't want the same things, they don't have the same goals. Those are two different types of people. So, and then where do you find those people? Even if you know who they are, where do you find them, right? So bare minimum. Second thing is how to build trust faster. We are in a trust recession, and I don't care who likes that. I'm not even gonna argue about this. Like, I don't even need to state it. Just look around. Look around. I don't even need to say this, but it is one of the big things, because a lot of sales teams that I'm working with and a lot of coaches, they are still trying to sell to people in a transactional way. Hey, we have this fancy smancy offer, bonus galore, discount, frenzy, come purchase now. And then they insert a bunch of fake urgency. 20 spots left, only 3 days left, you better do it now, or whatever. Like, they're still trying to do all this, and people don't care. Nobody cares about any of that. That's what people are saying. When you sell and promote like that, that's what they're saying. I don't care. Who cares? We have bigger problems in life right now than your deadline, right? Nobody cares. At the end of the day, people buy in this market from people they know, like, and trust. So they need to know that and they need to trust that you have the exact path and the exact solution to that expensive problem they want to solve, because they need to know that when they give you their money in a market that is very uncertain like this, they need to know that when they give you their money, they're going to get the result. If they don't feel you're going to be able to do that, if they don't think that what you're doing is going to help them, if they don't think you're the person, if they don't understand your process and see themselves doing the work and getting the result, they're not giving you their money. They're going to give it to somebody else. When you focus on building real relationships and you focus on relational selling instead of transactional selling, doesn't work in this market. No one is buying if they're being treated or if they feel like they are a transaction. It's not happening. This is why launches don't convert as good as they used to. This is why funnels don't convert as good as they used to. This is why automated emails and sequences and big promotions, they don't work as good as they used to. It isn't because they don't work at all or because of whatever. At the end of the day, people want to invest in people. It's a human to human centric market right now. People want to be treated like a person, like a human. They want relationship, they want trust. They don't want to be a transaction. And the problem in this market is 98% of coaches and consultants are still talking to and treating every one of their leads and connections like a transaction. Are you a sale or not? And that's the problem. Until you stop doing that, you're going to run ragged trying to chase and beg leads to buy something from you. Okay. The other big place we see coaches getting stuck is, how do we transition from the BFF talk to the offer talk? A lot of times that's what we see in the market is like, okay, and I've got these leads, they're really good leads. I'm confident in my offer and I feel like if I could just get them to the sales conversation piece, I could definitely close a lot of sales. And it's in that middle, right? And in Sales Academy, we teach top, middle, bottom of funnel. It's how every business in this whole globe is run. Every business, online or offline, brick and mortar, it doesn't matter the niche. It could be an auto company, it can be a hair salon. Every company in this whole globe has top, middle, bottom of funnel. You bring customers and leads in at the top, you nurture them, you work them in the middle, you build relationships, you close them and sell to them at the bottom. It's very simple, it's common sense, right? And the middle part is where over almost 100% of our clients struggle. Sales teams struggle with this, is like in that middle, how do you go from having those genuine relational conversations to solutions, invest in, and sales conversations? How do you make that transition? And this is something we probably spend 95% of our time in Sales Academy helping our clients do with our systems and word tracks, because it's where most people get stuck. You don't know how to make that transition in an ethical, smooth, natural, neutral way that does not feel like a transition. It doesn't feel like you just flipped a switch and you went from I'm your BFF to hey, here's my offer, do you want to buy it? There is a finesse to this, you guys. And again, everything I do is backed by science, so it's proven and it works. Okay, the next big thing is, and this costs you so much money, guys, because if you don't know how to do this, then you're having a lot of conversations and you're putting in a lot of time and effort, and you're bringing a lot of great leads in, but you're losing a number of opportunity every day, right? You're losing hundreds of thousands of dollars all the time because you don't know how to move those leads over that finish line in an ethical, relational way, right? So you're losing money. Okay. And then the fourth big thing is how to create more and consistent sales conversations, but doing that without feeling like you're chasing, pitching, begging, or feeling like a nag. I use that word because a lot of my clients say, I feel like I'm like a nag, like I'm annoying, like I'm in their DMs or their emails or like following up and chasing them. And I feel like I'm just being a nag, right? Like I don't want to bother people or feel desperate. And there are ways to create these conversations and move these conversations and close these conversations without doing any of that. And it really is what happens right here in this middle of that funnel, right? It's these two things right here. When you master these two things, this right here becomes a breeze. It's a cakewalk. It's absolutely a cakewalk when you master those two things. But it all starts with this. Like, you can bring hundreds of leads a day. You can bring a ton of leads if you want. You can run Facebook ads. You can collect leads all freaking day long. But I'm telling you right now, it's not going to equate to sales in your bank account if they're not the right people and if they have no money and if they don't have an expensive problem that you can solve. Who cares? Who cares? Right? In Sales Academy, we are very, very intentional with every single lead that we bring and that our clients bring into the top of their funnel, into their buyers list, because you have to be. I want you guys to also understand, I want you to just self-check here, right? With these four things, where you feel you're falling short, guys. Where do you feel you're falling short? There's no lazy sales right now. Nobody in this market gets away with being a lazy seller right now. You've got to do the work. You've got to put in the time. You've got to put in the energy. You got to dial in your focus. I want you to evaluate, but I also want you to self-check and ask yourself, if you were to look at the majority of your audience on your email list, your Facebook group, your social connections on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, wherever you're at, if you were to look at your overall audience as a whole, on average, would you say that those leads, that those people are hot, warm, or cold? Because I want you to also know this. In this market right now, across every niche, across every stage of business, across every business online right now, I want you to know that cold leads who are unqualified, unnurtured, that you have zero relationship with, cold leads are taken on average 4 to 6 months to convert in this market. They're not buying as fast as they used to. They're taking their time, and there's reasons for that, right? One, you need to build trust with them. They're not going to buy from you no matter how juicy good your offer is, no matter how much you discount it, no matter how much you bonus them. They're not going to buy from you if they don't trust you. And if you don't spend time to build a relationship with them, they're not going to give you their money because there's other people doing this and they're going to give the money to them. And so I want you to evaluate if you had to put all of your leads in a bucket, what bucket would it be? Hot, warm, or cold on average? And I'm going to tell you that almost 100% of the people coming into our Sales Academy program, they are trying to sell to cold leads day after day. And when they don't sell to the cold leads, they go out and they find more cold leads. I'm going to just be very honest with you right now. The solution to your sales problem is not more leads. It's not to go out and get more cold leads all the time. You need to learn how to work the leads you have. When we have clients come in Sales Academy, we have them do some of our sales campaigns and we give them our word track. And in 3 or 4 weeks at most, they're generating thousands of dollars from the current audience that they came and told us are dead, unqualified, broke, have no money, and they're not buyers. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm willing to make a bet that there are some in there, and I'm willing to bet that you can absolutely tap into thousands of dollars from the list and audience you currently have. Now, the problem isn't always the audience, it's that you don't know how to work that audience. You don't know how to really do this process, right? And so you think that the answer is go get more leads, go get more leads, but cold leads aren't buying from you for 4 to 6 months. So can you afford to wait 4 to 6 months to generate sales? Especially if you keep doing that over and over and over, you're just always working cold leads. This isn't the answer in this market. And you'll see that for yourself because you'll just stay broke, right? Like you'll just stay broke. I'm going to be totally honest with you. I don't need to tell you. You can watch for yourself. It's not going to work in this market. Okay. So let's talk about what do we need to be doing? So number one, you need to learn how to grow your audience every day with new leads, like I just talked about. Active, qualified, quality buyers who have expensive problems they want solved and have the money to pay for it, period. That's who you need to speak to, which means you probably need to upgrade your mindset. If you have money issues, mindset issues, if you're bringing your emotional money baggage into this, it's going to be a problem. So you need to upgrade that. You need to upgrade your content because the content is the first thing people see on social media. And if that's how you're attracting people, your content is attracting the type of people you have. So you can always know if your content is high vibe or low vibe, if it's attracting broke people or people with money, you can always tell. Because just go look at how much money you're making from your audience. If you're not making very much money from your audience, chances are your content is boring, your content is low vibe, and you attracted broke people with your content. So upgrading your content and speaking to expensive problems that people with money have and want solved, that's your ticket. That's your ticket. And so we need to be doing that. And here we've got some ways. I'm going to show you some of these ways here in a second. But number one, you need to grow your audience every day. It doesn't matter how many sales you have coming in. When you stop generating new customers at the top of your funnel and you stop attracting new leads, eventually you're going to exhaust every lead that you have. And then you're going to pull your head out of the sand and be like, oh my God, I don't have anyone to sell to. I've got to hurry up and go chase leads around and try to find and scoop up a few more sales. It's the cat and mouse game that is a perfect recipe for complete burnout. So stop doing that. We don't want to do that anymore. Every day you just need to add. We have our clients in Sales Academy. We have all of our clients, and I do this myself, and every sales team I work with, we have every seller, every person in charge of sales is adding a minimum of 20 qualified leads that match what we just talked about to the top of their funnel daily. Daily, not once in a while when you need money and you're desperate, not just during your launches when you're like, oh my God, it's numbers game. I'm not talking, not just when you need some, I'm talking daily, Monday through Friday. Okay, so that's 100 a week minimum. Okay, 100 leads a week that are the right people will get you 1 to 2 sales per week. You can do that by day, by week, by month, depending on your sales goals. But I'm going to tell you right now in this market, out of every 100 qualified leads, you're going to get maybe 1 to 2 sales. So you could sit here right now and be like, oh shit, I definitely am not doing that. No wonder I'm not making sales. Or, oh my God, my sales team, my sellers are not doing that. No wonder they're not closing sales every week. Okay. It's a simple math, guys. Simple math. Okay, and then there's some ways that you can be doing this. Number two, is that we need to we need to get that proximity and build that trust. One thing I say to all of my Sales Academy clients is there's no sale if there's no proximity. If you don't have proximity with a lead, then there's no sale to be made. I think everyone is going into the market and going into every conversation, into every piece of content and every action you're taking with this like sell, 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 sell. And you need to stop because that's not going to work in this market. You need to build trust. You need to build real relationships. You need to build trust in this market. Flat out, every human that is a breathing life needs to earn every sale. There's no lazy selling in this market. You need to earn every sale that you create in this market. So we need to get proximity first, then we need to build trust really fast. So we obviously have a system and a strategy, and I'll show you, I'm going to pull up my screen, show you everything in a second. I need you to understand this though, because this is why people are not making millions of dollars right now. And it's not the reasons that you think. You think it's, oh, I need a funnel. Oh, I need a website. Oh, I need a sales page. Oh, I need to do more sales calls. Oh, I need this. And oh, I need to automate this. And oh, I need to create more freebie. No, none of it. Everything I just said, forget it ever existed. None of that is what anybody needs to be doing right now. That's the problem. Is everyone is spending 90% of their time doing things that have zero to do with sales in this market, and they're not going to make you money, right? If you just stop doing that and you focused on the things that are actually making dollars and cents and putting new money in people's bank accounts right now, every day, every week, well, then everybody would be making more money, right? And more people would be getting help. Okay, so we need to focus on that. The other thing is you need to learn how to nurture and move leads. I just got done saying cold leads are not going to convert for 4 to 6 months. So a lot of you are starting with probably a lot of cold leads that need to be nurtured. You need proximity, you need to build a relationship, you need to earn the sale, you need to get those leads moving. And so a lot of you are working with cold leads, but even if you have warm and hot leads in your market, you still need to know how to move them over the finish line. This is the biggest issue our clients have when they come in Sales Academy, by far the biggest issue. They don't know how to get the leads to move over that finish line. They don't know how to take them from wherever they are, either a new lead or warm lead or a lead that gave an objection or a lead that's like, I'm thinking about it, or a lead that's right on the edge of buy-in. They don't know how to get them over the finish line in an intentional, ethical way that feels really good for both people. And so they're losing leads. Leads are slipping through the cracks. Leads are falling off the radar. They've lost opportunities that were right on the edge of coming in because they don't know how to nurture and move those leads. They don't know how to hold the space for people until they're ready to buy. And so they're constantly chasing new leads all the time because they don't know how to convert the ones they have. And they think, oh, well, if I just get more leads, then I can convert more sales. And they just realize that's this endless cycle of just cat and mouse game. It's burnout, right? Because that's not going to work. The other thing is you need to know how to make invitations daily, not weekly, monthly, quarterly, not when you're motivated, not when you feel awesome today, not when you feel like, woo, today's the day, not when you're in the middle of a launch, not when your mortgage needs to be paid and you're dying and you can't make your bills. Every day, Monday through Friday. You need to learn how to make intentional, ethical invitations. So that the people in your audience know that you have a solution for them and that you have a way to support them. And you have to remove all assumption and you have to never say the words again. If they wanted to buy from me, they would. I sell every day. I talk about it all the time. I've said it a million times. They should know. Get rid of all of that. You can't have that mindset in sales. You'll never make money. They don't know as much as you think they do. And you've never said it enough. Okay, so every day we need to learn how to make intentional, ethical invitations. This does not mean go pitch people to death. This does not mean drop your links all over the place. We don't do any of that. You could go look at my LinkedIn content and you can see that we don't do that. Okay, so I practice exactly what I teach. I do as I preach, and you can see from my content, you can see if you're on my email list, how I do things. And then you need to learn how to follow up and convert leads every single week. If you're in charge of the sales in your company or in your position or whatever, if you're a seller or you're the coach, CEO, and you do your own sales, you're responsible to make that business money. And what happens to a business that's not making any money? They go bankrupt, they shut down. If you work for somebody and you're not producing results, what happens? You get fired. If you're in charge of this, making your business money, you should fire yourself if you're not doing it. You need to be the CEO of your desk and get up every day, and you need to do the things that are going to produce the results that your business requires, which is always sales first. It's always sales first. Before anything, anyone, it's always sales. If that's not happening, you're not being a good CEO of your desk. And thinking that you could go do all these other random things that used to work years ago, it's not going to work. And if you were in a position, you'd be fired because you're not producing results. Or if your business eventually will go bankrupt. Like you won't be able to afford to keep your business running if you don't change what you're doing. Okay. So we need to learn how to do that. So here's what I'm going to walk you guys through. Okay. On my screen here in a second, I'm going to show you how we generate 20 new qualified leads per day. I'm going to show you how we get proximity in the DMs. I want to caveat here so you understand. I'm LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm not on Facebook anymore. I have Instagram. I don't use it. So I'm going to show you guys things through LinkedIn because that's what I'm using. But please hear me when I say this. What I show you, you can do on Facebook or Instagram. I don't teach in Sales Academy. We teach you real sales skills, real sales strategies. I don't care if you're a car salesman, you can use my strategies. I don't care if you sell hair. I don't care if you sell makeup. I don't care what you do. It doesn't matter. We are not platform specific and we are not niche specific. Our strategies are basic fundamental sales that are in every company in the world. Okay, so I want to be very clear about that. I'm going to show you LinkedIn because that's specifically my platform of choice. Okay. But I'm going to show you how we get proximity in the DMs. That's the other thing. I don't do sales calls. I haven't done a sales call in 9 years. 100, not 99, not 90, 100% of our sales are high ticket and they are done in the DMs on LinkedIn. And we have closed in the DMs with no sales call and no sales page, no website, no anything. 100% for the last 9 years. So if you guys think that this cannot be done, you're just uneducated in that way. And I'm trying to educate you. So I'm going to be showing you how we get that proximity with a new lead that has just connected with us, how we get that proximity really quickly and build trust really fast. And right now, our first initial DM to a new connection has held steady for like 6 months at about 72% response rate. In the market right now, in $1 million companies I work with, when they send that first initial DM to a new lead, their average response rate is anywhere from 32 to 42%. We are at 72% for 6 months steady. So that is almost double the average. And I'm talking in $1 million companies. So we've got this dialed. And when I say that my word track is backed by science and it just works, I'm not kidding. Okay. So we'll show you that. And then I'm going to show you step by step our systems. We have repeatable plug and play systems for sales that we use. Every client gets plugged into these. Every sales team gets plugged into these. And all they do is Monday through Friday, execute our systems and our word track and not focus on anything else. This is going to get the trust built fast. It's going to get your leads to move, get them over the finish line. It's going to close your sales. So I'm going to show you all of that. And again, for us specifically, our goal is to create high quality DMs. 90% of my day is working my leads, nurturing, building trust, depositing reciprocity, and having sales conversations in the DMs. And we are just doing that on repeat in 3 to 4 hours a day. Okay. So we're also going to show you that. What you're going to need in place. So here's what you're going to need to have to pull off what I'm going to show you. Number one is you need to have complete clarity on who your champion client is. And we in Sales Academy, we call this your champion client DNA. It's very simple. It's the makeup of a person who wins versus the makeup of a person that struggles and does not win. So it's basically the difference in one of your clients that gets results and the client that doesn't get results. What makes them different? What's different about those two people? When you can identify that, you can really start to just focus on attracting and speaking to the person who naturally just wins in their life and just gets results in their life. Because you first need to start by knowing the difference between the two. If you've ever worked with a client, you can clearly think, you can probably think of the person right now. You can think of who they are in their name, and you can say, this person got results and this person didn't. And here's what was different about those two people. Here's why this person got results and this person did not, simply put, right? And so there's a DNA, there's a makeup, there's a set of characteristics, there's things about the person who got results that are different from the person who didn't. That's what you need to identify and get really clear on, because then you need to say, does my content speak to this person that has this winning DNA? Does the solution that I provide speak and attract the person that has the winning DNA? You can start to do that. Am I really going in the places where the winning DNA is actually spending time and hanging out? You can really identify that quick in just a few minutes, and you can start to realize where you need to shift your time and energy, okay, and your messaging and stuff like that. You're also going to need an offer that delivers one solution. Here's the other area that people are still going wrong. They still think that the more you give and the more you provide and the more solutions, the more sales. And in this market, everyone is broke because of this. Multi-solutions creates confusion and chaos. And you cannot scale chaos, by the way, and a confused mind never buys. So you're really setting yourself up to fail if you think the solution to more sales is sell more outcomes and more solutions and more stuff and more things and give and overcompensate and overcreate. If you're still that person, it's exactly why you're not making much money. It's exactly why everyone needs to stop doing this. People who have an expensive problem, they have an expensive problem. It's not plural. It's not expensive problems. It's an expensive problem. And they just want that problem solved. And when you're saying, I can help you with these 80 things, plus I have these 60 modules, plus I have these 90 free sessions, and I'm going to bonus you 300 things, and I have 90 pages of downloads, nobody gives a shit. Everyone is like overwhelmed, and people's, nervous systems are just maxed out right now. There's just, people are very sophisticated. We don't need all of your stuff. I can Google it, AI it, Chat GPT it. There's a billion people that are given all of what you're trying to sell for free. It's just not valuable in this market. You need to ask yourself, if I could only solve one problem for the whole world and I'm the best at it, what would that problem be? Right? What is the most expensive problem that I can solve that I'm the best at? And if I could solve this one problem for the whole world, what would that be? And you need to niche down like that. People that are resistant to doing this just are not selling very well in this market, because you can't scale chaos and when you have multi-solutions, it's very confusing for your audience. They're just going to go to your competitor who's like, boom, I help you do this one thing right here. They're going to go give their money to them because it sounds fast and easy and simple. And that's just it, period. End of conversation on that. The other thing is you need to have 4 sales systems. I'm going to show you ours here in a second, and then you need to replicate these somehow, or come in Sales Academy and plug into ours. You need a qualifying system where you are learning step by step in a repeatable, scalable, like robotic way, how to qualify people super fast. You want to qualify them in or out. They either are the champion client DNA or they're not. The second is you need a nurture system. People are not buying day one. They're not just going to buy because you put an offer in front of them or have something. They're not buying day one. So you need a way to nurture those people, right? To build that trust, to build that relationship, to empower. This is really what you need to do. Empower decision readiness. Okay. And attract people who have an internal urgency, not external. You don't need to create urgency. The urgency should be that they want to solve their problem. And if it is an expensive problem, they're going to want to solve it. So again, it goes back to who you're attracted. And then you need to have a conversion system. So you need to have a way to convert leads easily, consistently, quickly, all the time. And a follow-up system for people that are actively going to buy from you, but they're not doing it today. So in Sales Academy, the leads that are in your follow-up system are not people that you're saying if they're going to buy, it's when they're going to buy. they've been nurtured, they've been taken care of. They're a verbal yes. It's just not today. You need to have a follow-up system to hold the space for them until they're ready to buy, which could be 4 days, 4 hours, or it could be 6 months, or it could be 2 years. But you need to hold the space the entire time until they're ready to buy. And most people, they just don't do this, but 97% of sales is in your 8th to 10th follow-up. Write that down. That's every business. 97% of sales do not happen until the 8th or 10th follow-up. And I'm not talking about follow-up like, are you still interested? Do you still want to buy? How's it going? Like, are you ready? I'm not talking about that. You need to learn how to ethically hold space for someone until they're ready. And so you need that system. And then you need 3 to 4 hours to commit to work in this system and closing sales and having these conversations Monday through Friday. Okay, if you're a seller, you're probably doing 6 to 8 hours, like it's your full-time job. If you're a business owner, the CEO, you need 3 to 4 hours to commit to this, and if you don't have it, I would just get a job. In this market, it's a lot harder, and sales take a lot longer. They're just different. They're not really harder, they're just different, so they feel more challenging because you have to change what you're doing. But if you don't have 3 to 4 hours every day, Monday through Friday, to put into this process right here that we're going to walk you through, I would just go get a job, because it's not anything less than this is not enough. This is bare minimum. Anything less than this, it's not enough in this market. Okay. Okay. So I want to come back up here and start walking you through some things real quick. Like I said, I am not holding anything back, guys. I'm pulling it back. If you're not making the sales you want, this should be your number one focus, is to watch this video and learn what you need to be doing. So when we think about finding those 20 people at the top every day, it's easy if you're just hammering out 20 friend requests. But again, we don't want to do that, right? We want those buyers with expensive problems and money to spend. So we need to be looking at where do we find leads? So one of the places that you guys can do this is in the search bar. You can do this on any platform, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, right? It doesn't matter. You can go into the search bar and you can search specific things that your highest level champion clients would be searching for, or they would be talking about, or they would be interested in, right? Again, you have to understand that somebody with expensive problems and money to spend has different problems than the broke person who has no money and has 80 problems, because they don't know how to prioritize, right? There's a big difference in what they're interested in, where they're spending time, what they're searching for. There's just a big difference, right? And so you can go into the search bar, right? Like if I wanted to come in here, I could search for, high ticket sales, right? I could come in here and I could say, do I want to see like posts? So I want to see people talking about high ticket sales. Like this person is talking about, it shouldn't be hard. High ticket sales shouldn't be hard. He put a poll. He's got some votes here. He's got some comments. If I wanted to, I could go check out some of his content, and I could look at some of the people, and I could really start to search. I could say, building a sales team. I could come in here and, I could start to look at, building a sales team. So this person talks about high performance sales teams. There's 36 people liking, there's people commenting. I could go check that out. These are people interested in building high performance sales teams. Right. So again, going into the search bar and seeing what people are already talking about. If you're in a group, you can do that too. You can go into a Facebook group and you can do a search for certain topics, keywords, things like that. And you want to think high level, right? What types of problems or things is your highest level person searching for, looking for, talking about? What conversations are they participating in? Think about those keywords. That's a great start. We find a lot of really great leads that are either selling high ticket and they have questions about it, they're building a sales team, or they have a sales team. These are definitely people we want in our community, in our programs. Okay. Groups, you can do Facebook. This is more Facebook specific. LinkedIn has groups, but groups on LinkedIn aren't really that great, so I wouldn't suggest it. But Facebook groups, again, you can do the search bar. You can go in and interact with conversations already happening, you can really get more specific. So what most people do is they'll go into a Facebook group, they'll pull up the members, and they'll just go add. And you don't even know who you're adding. You want to go in and do some specific searching. Look at the conversations already happening. Look at what people are talking about. How consistent are people posting or commenting or asking questions? How engaged are people? Go look and do a search up in the group search bar, and look for people that are talking about, asking about, or engaging in conversations and keywords that are specific to your highest level champion client. If you are on LinkedIn, this hack right here is LinkedIn specific. So on LinkedIn, you can do the sales navigator, and it lets you really pin down to the dollar the type of person that you're looking for. And you can also, in the search bar up here, you can do, you can do something like build sales team CEO. You can get down to some very specific keywords and pull very specific people up with very specific like things that are relative to what you're doing, right? Like high ticket sales mom. Like you can literally get in here, and come in here and you can find very, very specific. So the search bar on LinkedIn is really phenomenal. It's really, really, really good over here. Okay. You can do like business, or I could do like health coach, CEO, right? So they have like CEO in there. And I can go over here and I can search by people. And I can find people that are business owners, they're in the health, they consider themselves a health coach or something like that. That title with a CEO, meaning they are a business owner. You know what I mean? That's how great the search bar is inside LinkedIn. But another little hack that we have is this display site. And I'll show you, we'll open this up, and here's what this allows me to do. It allows me to come into the Google search. This is only applicable on LinkedIn. And I can go over here and I can say, business coach CEO. And when I do that, what's going to happen is it's only going to show me people on LinkedIn who have this in their bio, their title, right? So I would click, it would open, found an advanced certified business coach. I could come in and see like, okay, is she active on here? They're hiring. Over here, I look at, you haven't posted in 10 months. Can I give you guys a little hack here on LinkedIn? Only about 2% of the people on LinkedIn actually post. So about 98% of the people on LinkedIn, they are only consumers. They're not actually posting, they're just consumers. So that says a lot for you about the opportunity you have on LinkedIn to grow your business, because there's like no competition. Okay, I could go back and I could grab this person. Do you see what I mean? Like instead of trying to find people and scroll, you can just search and boom, voila, here we go. Right? So she is, that's awesome. Ex Chanel, helping high achieving women step into leadership, blah, blah, blah. I could come down here and see if she posts 5 hours ago. So that's awesome. She looks like a good lead. I could hit connect. Boom. Right? I just got like one person in 2 seconds here. You could go back. So this is like a really, really good, like little hack for LinkedIn specifically. That's a great way. Like I find 20 leads easily every day by doing that. The other thing you can do is search other gurus on any platform that you're on: Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. If you go and you can look, at anybody on LinkedIn, right? Let's say, if like, let's just say that, let's say that Amy Porterfield was like, I don't know, let's say that she had your people in her audience. You could come in here and you could look at what she posts. You could look at her audience. Again, you could go down into the comment section of her posts and you could start finding people. You could start commenting on other posts and comments, join conversation, all of those things. So you can look at, you can look at other gurus' connections. You can also look at just to add this here, you can also look at places or things that your buyers are interested in, right? So maybe your people are interested in certain travel, or maybe your people are interested in certain podcasts, or maybe your people are interested in certain online magazines, or maybe they follow and are interested and obsessed with certain people. Maybe they are going to certain events online or offline, right? Maybe they shop at certain places, like they might shop at Whole Foods, or they might shop at Gucci, or they might have certain brands they're interested in. That's another great place for you to put yourself in those places and show up there. Like, get on those podcasts, get featured in those magazines, go into those groups where your people are just obsessed with the host of that group. Go in there and provide value. It's not just send friend requests, it's go in there and provide value and let people send you the requests. When we go in, when we do this strategy right here, we have loads of people send us LinkedIn connection requests every day from this activity, every day. And it stacks every day because people are coming from things I commented on weeks ago. So that's the next thing, is comment strategy. So there's two types of comments I do on LinkedIn. The first comment I'll show you is in my own posts. So if you come here and you look at my content, okay, I'm just gonna give you like an example. If you go in and you look at my content, right, I'll find a post where I can show you, and I apologize for the scrolling, but I do want to kind of show you, right? If you come down in and we look at like, and I've got it on all of these, but if we come down and we look at, let's say, I think it's coming right up, one of these that I want to show you guys. Like example is this one, right? So I have this post, and I apologize if you guys hear my French bulldog snoring. I have this post, right? If you look down in the comments of my post, I usually have 3 to 5 comments. These are like engaging comments and more value. So notice here, I'm asking some questions. In here, I'm going in and giving, look at this, even more value to add to my post. So I'm adding more value in the comments because people love this. And then they come down here and they're like, oh my God, swipe this list. Oh my God, she gave us 5 more things. So I'm stacking the value in the comments of my own post. Look at this. I like value, value, value. I literally said, here's what we do every day. Like, this is our 6 steps to sales. Like, look at that. And then I'm doing that. And then we get people commenting and replying down in the comments. I do this on every one of my posts. The other thing is you find people, like I go on to Alex Hermosi, for example. I showed him out a lot, but I also comment on his posts. I'll go down into his posts and I'll add comments, and add to the conversation, but I don't go in like you guys do. I don't go in people's comments, oh my God, this was so good, thank you for sharing. That's not, how is that gonna get, like, let's say that Alex Hermosi had your audience. How is you going into his posts, comments, saying, oh my God, this is so valuable, thanks for sharing? How is that adding value that's going to make his people want to reach out and connect with you and possibly buy from you? Like, it's not. So I go in and I add more value. I'll go in and I'll say, this was so good. And 3 other things that I typically do or have my clients do is this. Or I'll add value. So it's a value stack. What happens is people see that and they're like, damn, she's smart. Damn, that's good. Oh my God, those were so good. Those are so helpful. I'm going to go check her out. And we get a ton of connection requests from the leads inside of that person. So there's an example there for you guys on how we do comment strategy. Okay, then we need to get proximity and nurture the leads and make the invitation. So I'm going to show you my system really quickly. If you guys don't have group track, let me know. And actually below this video, I'll put a link where you guys can get a free trial of this. We have a couple of things, okay? I'm going to show you a couple of things that we have. One, we have our buyers list. So our buyers list lives inside of and is built and worked inside of our group chat system. And so we have phases and stages. This is what I want to show you here is the stages. So if we take our buyers list and you ask yourself, as we add new buyers every day to the top of our funnel, what do we do with the buyers? What do we do to nurture, build trust, build the relationship, qualify them, and get them over the finish line? What do we need to do with every one of those leads every day until that happens? And this is where our systems come in right here. So here's the process. One, we've identified a buyer, which means you found a lead that looks like a good lead, you add them to the top of your funnel. We're going to connect with them. So we're going to send the connection request, whatever it is, whatever platform you send that, right? Once they accept it, we want to deposit reciprocity. That's the first step. Go on their profile and go in those comments and do what I just showed you. Add genuine comments, support them, nurture, add value. Go deposit reciprocity. Remember, we have to earn the sales, right? Then send a connection DM. Don't send the DM first. Go engage first, then you send a DM. Connection DM is that first initial message you're going to send when you just met somebody. We'll show you that in a second. Once you do that and they respond, you might have one or two back and forths, and then you're going to start going into our very first system, which is qualifying. This is our 5-star framework. The very first system is you have to start to qualify this lead in or out. Last thing you want to do is be down in the DMs with a bunch of broke leads all day that don't want to buy from you, right? You don't want to wake up and be like, oh my God, I've been working that lead for 3 weeks and she's broke. You want to know that in 5 minutes. You want to know that in 10 minutes, 15 minutes, right? This is how you're going to speed up your sales is you need to qualify leads in and out very quickly. And our 5-star framework does it in 15 minutes flat. So the first thing we do is we find out baseline information. There's 5 buckets to our 5-star framework qualifying system. The very first bucket is baseline. Who are you? What do you do? So this is where you got to find out. Are they even our type of client? Who are you and what do you do? Okay. Then once they give you that, you go down into the goals and the why. This is awesome. It's phenomenal. What's a big business goal you have this month or this quarter? Now we're going to get into the goals. And then why is that so important right now? Right? Why is that a priority today or right now? Cool. Then we're going to go down into the gaps. Awesome. What sorts of things have you done or tried to reach that goal? And what do you think is missing? Why do you think you've spent 6 months doing A, B, and C and you're not getting the results from it? Like, what is missing? What do you think the reason is? What's the gap? And we're going to have that conversation. Then we're going to go in and find out a timeline, right? Is this a problem that you're trying to solve this week, this month, or is this like a 12-year problem, 5-year problem, 3 years from now? When do you want to solve this? Right? Then we're getting buy-in timelines. Some people want to solve it right now. Some people it's a year from now. But you want to build your timeline. You want to build a list of buyers that some are going to buy now and some are going to buy later, right? Then we want to make an invitation. Do you want help? That's the last part of the 5-star framework. Do you want help? It's yes or no. 2 things happen here. Either they want help and you're going to book a sales conversation, have a sales conversation, invite them into your offer, or they're not ready yet and you're going to put them into content or put them somewhere where you can nurture and continue to provide them only content that is applicable to their problem and make sure that each piece you send them is moving them and empowering them to become decision ready. Okay, so it's bridging their gap, it's helping them identify their gaps and helping them move forward. Okay, there's only 2 things that can happen from there. Well, the only other third thing is you could find out this is just definitely not one of my clients or people, and I'm going to take them off my list. Okay, then you go into a sales conversation. Done. That qualifying process is a wrap. At that point, this is where it's either we're going to share a resource because they're not ready, or maybe their buying timeline is not right now. We're going to do that. Our system is the FU 10 times, which is follow up 10 times. I just got done telling you guys a few minutes ago, 97% of sales happen in the 8th to 10th follow up. So we teach a 10x follow up. 10 times, what do we say? What's the order? All backed by science and sales psychology. What are we saying? How are we saying it? What are we doing to hold the space until that person is ready? And so that's where you're going to go into that, or they're going to become a new client. And then they're back to nurture if they're not a client. If they're just not a person right now, but you feel like at some point they could be or would be, we're going to go back to the nurture cycle, right? So there's a couple systems that we teach in Sales Academy. We teach several that are very sales specific. One of them is the 5-star framework, right? When you come in here, we're going to walk you through the 5 qualifying markers of a buyer so that you can identify flags that tell you someone is a buyer versus not. We're going to show you how to filter out non-buyers. You guys got to learn how to do this quickly so you get to your sales, and how to move buyers through each readiness level. So how to move them and how to get them through that. These are the buckets, right? That I just went over with you. This is system 1. After you attract leads, this is system 1. Okay. Then we're going to go into the next system. Okay. And the next system is going to be the buyers list. So you're going to learn how to, build your buyers list. You're going to learn why we recommend 100 leads every week, which is the goal, how to structure, how to prioritize, right? That's one of the big things Sales Academy clients struggle with, is when you start adding so many people, how do you prioritize all these leads so that you're always every day, Monday through Friday, focusing on the hottest ones always. How do we work that list every day? So we're going to go through all that and teach you guys all of that. And then after the buyers list, it's the cold to client cycle. This is the middle of the funnel. This is 90% of your day, Monday through Friday. This is where the money is. This is where the sales happen. This is where the new clients happen. This is how you get leads over the finish line. It's this system right here. And so we are going to show you our system for moving leads from cold to paying clients. We're going to walk you through what personalized outreach looks like. We're going to walk you through what our templates and swipe copy looks like. So what do you say and how do you say it? In what order do you say it? We're going to get that all set up for you and show you how to do that. We're going to show you how to get that proximity and that response rate of 72%, how to keep people talking to you so you can get them over the finish line, and you don't have as many people ghosting you and not talking to you. We're going to show you how to cycle buyers until they're ready, which can take 8 to 10 times, 4 to 6 months. We're going to show you how to collapse that quite a bit. We're going to show you the difference in following up with a lead and nurturing a lead. Those are 2 different things. Show you how to get more of your DM seen so that you're not chasing and tagging people to death and just begging. We're going to show you how to do all that. Of course, in here, we have a couple of other things like our power hour, so that if you want to work 3 to 4 hours a day and generate sales every day, every week, we're going to show you how the power hour is going to help you do that. And then we're going to help you back into your KPIs. We do everything based on data. So the math has to math. If you want 5 sales a week, I need to know that you have the numbers to do that and that you know the systems and exact strategies to do that, right? So we eliminate fluff, cut the fat, just have you focus on what you need to do. So we're going to make sure we're super clear on that. We do have a section of sales mindset and rewiring, and this is great for those of you that have money mindset issues or a bad relationship with money. This is for you if you are afraid to sell, if you think you're bothering people, if you're scared to increase your prices, if you're focused on lower ticket because you have all this mindset on high ticket or charging more, earning more. If you're someone who's like, oh, I have to handle objections, or oh, I have to beg people. I have to really give more if I want to charge more. I have to give them more to get the sale, all that stuff. If you have all that stuff, this section will change your life. You will never think, do, or be sales the way that you do right now after going through these very brain science, sales psychology, mind shifting audios, okay? And then what else do we have for you guys in here? We also have your content strategy. I have a strategy called your welcome content. You guys can see it on my, if you come here, you can see every single post that I create is structured a certain way, does a certain thing, says a certain thing, it's in a certain order. And at the end of the day, I have one goal with my content. Actually 2. Shift everything you think about sales and put you in my DMs wanting to know more. That's it. So that's what we teach you. With our content strategy is how to do that. And we actually have like a 5-page or 1-page template that outlines what your headline should do, like what order to put your content, so you could follow it. You can create content in 10 minutes every week. It's super easy. We have a sales call conversion framework. So when it's 9 steps, when you host a sales conversation, what do you say, what order, and how do you say it? What questions do you ask to get certain information? The clients that are using this for like 9 years now have said they close anywhere between 85 and 100% if they use the framework. If they skip steps, they see that their sales go down, they get objections. If they follow all 9 steps exactly as they're laid out, they're closing anywhere from 80 to 100% of their sales conversations. We have the FU 10 time method, which is our follow-up system. And then we have our bonus, which is this right here. It's group track. If you choose to use this, most clients use this, some don't. But for those that do it, we could get you a pretty good deal, a nice trial period. And then we have plug and play, where you can literally take what you see right here, and you can just plug our stuff right into your system and you can just use it, right? So you can see that we have our stages, there's no thinking. Every lead that we open, we have a status, right? We have their link, we have tasks, we have all these different tags, right? All these different tags, look at this, we set you up with. And then we have this exact stages. All of this is the systems I just showed you. It's just plugged into this system. So your strategy needs a system and your system needs to have a strategy in it. That's what this is, okay? And this is how to set it all up, how to plug our stuff into yours so you can just execute it really fast. So that's what we got over there for you. So we have 2 options now, okay? We have 2 options. At this point, you're either saying, thanks, Anne, I'm going to go off and make these changes, attempt to do this on my own, pull the pieces together or piecemeal it or figure it out or keep doing what I'm doing. Whatever your choice is, that's great. But some of you are like, okay, this is fire. Like, I'm missing this stuff. These are the things that I really need to learn in order to increase my sales. And I don't need to be doing all of these funnels, all this automation, all these pages, all this creation, chasing, begging, discounting. Like, honestly, at the end of the day, I don't need or want to do that. This looks like an easy 3 to 4 hour a day, repeatable system. You can literally plug your sellers into this system and they can run it for you. So it's super scalable. Once you get it working, you can literally have someone take it over for you. So it's scalable, it's repeatable. You know exactly what you're doing every day. You can come in here and you can literally be like, listen, I'm going to filter. I want you to show me everyone on my buyers list. And I want you to show me anyone that has a task that is due today. Apply. So we have 31 tasks due today. We're going to go in and look at its deposit reciprocity. So we're going to pop open a lead and we're going to go do what it says. Follow up on DM, engage with content. There's 0 thinking time with this system. So you can get in and work your leads so fast and not just work them, but close sales daily, weekly with this system in a 3 to 4 hour time frame. Okay, imagine what that would do to your sales right now. And instead of constantly chasing new cold leads that are not going to buy from you for 4 to 6 months, and then you don't even know what to do with them. So most of them you never convert, right? So number one, if you're sitting here and you're like, yes, this is what I definitely want to learn more about this. I think this could be what I'm looking for. In Sales Academy, we're going to plug you into these systems here that we just showed you. We're going to help you execute this right here, like we just showed you. We're going to help you add those 20 qualified leads a day to the top of your funnel. And then we're going to plug you into our systems. These are plug and play. These have been tested for a decade or more. Some of them have been tested for 20 years, but a decade or more. These systems have been tested across different stages of business, from 5 figures to 8 figures. They've been tested with single coaches, solo coaches, consultants. They've been tested on sales teams, 7 and 8 figure sales teams. They've been in my company with my clients. 10, 15, 20 years we have been testing these. They are proven and they work. They're plug and play. All you gotta do is take them, stick them in here, execute. Done, done, and done. Super simple. There's no sales pages, there's no websites needed, there's no funnels, there's no technology other than this one system right here. Like, there's just, this is it. We're gonna give you all of our proven word track, right? We have pages, 20, 30 pages of word track for every single conversation you could ever have. And inside this system too, I'll show you real quick. We also have this DM. So like, if we have a lead, like right here, right? Like, let's say I wanted to send, let's say we just connected and I wanted to send my first message to her. I would go in here and I would say, send DM. Look what happens. Would you like to send her the linked message? And I say, yeah, let's review it. And then here's the message. We just take this and say send. It sends it to her, and you can do this in bulk in the system. So you could bulk send if you have like 30 people that are in this stage, you could literally automate and say send all 30 this message, and it'll spread it out so that you don't get blocked and send it out for you. So there's a lot of automation too that gets stuff done faster. But that first message gets a 72% response rate. And remember, you need that response because it's proximity. There's no sale if they don't answer you. So that first message, you want that to get a good response. So the cool thing with this system, right, is that you can plug in when you go in here, right, and you set up your, when you set these up right here, the stages, you have a choice right here. You can link a message. So these ones that are bold black, blue, these ones have a message linked to it, and you do variations. We give you variations, so nobody's really getting the same message. Like exactly, there's little tweaks. But this allows you see how this process has a linked message already, so that you're not having to think about, oh my God, what do I say? What should I send? It's all done for you. You just plug in and execute. And then we teach, coach, and implement every week. So on Mondays, no one is left behind. You hop on each Monday. We do a quick teaching of one of the systems or one of the strategies, an area we feel everybody needs some help. We coach you, so everybody gets hot seats if you have a question or you need help with whatever, and we implement together as a group. So these are not calls where you're listening to everybody get a bunch of hot seats or ask random questions that have nothing to do with what you're trying to do, or what we're working on. These are group implementation. You're not just sitting there getting talked at and listening. We're implementing and doing the work together. So we're spending 90 minutes where you are literally doing the sales actions. We have clients who literally generate sales on these calls every week because we're taking action. So these are very, very, this program is sales focused. If you're not making money, I don't know what we're doing. It is not about marketing. It's not about strategy. It's not about platforms. It is about sales. That's what we're doing and on the calls and in the program. So we're doing it all together. Okay. I pull up my screen, I walk you guys through it, and then we do it together and we give you real-time feedback right there on the spot. We coach you, all the things happen right there. And the real-time feedback happens in our community, it happens on the calls. We'll pull up the screen and walk you through it. We'll do if you ask a question, you need some feedback on something, we'll do like a Loom video and answer you. We'll give feedback on your DM conversations, things like that. All of it. And this is all 3 to 4 hours a day. Okay. So for Sales Academy, there's a link below where you can send me a DM on LinkedIn, or you can send me a private Boxer, which is voice and text. And you can share a little about your business, your sales goals, where you think maybe you're having some struggle or challenge. We can see if Sales Academy is a good fit for you. If it's not, we're going to tell you. There is no sales page because we qualify everybody, and we only let people in that we know are going to get the results, which means you have to show up and do the work and be open to the process and the coaching. And so we have to talk to you first. If we feel like it's a great fit, if we feel like you're definitely going to get results in the program, you need to come in, we can absolutely partner and help you. Then we'll share what your path would look like, what we would focus on with you first, how that all works, get you enrolled. If not, we'll say, here's what you should go do to get yourself in a better situation, and maybe we can revisit this later. So it's not a high pressure conversation, it's legit just a conversation. Okay, that's what I had to share with you guys. I hope this was helpful. I hope that you're realizing how things have changed, where you might need to shift your focus. You absolutely can go off and test this on your own, try to piece it together, figure it out. Hopefully you can do that faster than months from now. But if you want to speed that up and get down to it, and get those results happening, in 30 days, reach out and let's have a chat about Sales Academy. And the links are below for the system if you want to get a trial period on this and give that a shot. And then the link to either DM me on LinkedIn or chat with me on Boxer. Those links are below. You can pick your spot, pick your place, and reach out, and we can have a conversation. All right. Thanks, everybody. Bye.